Have you ever wondered what Christmas sandwiches looked like before fast food, shortcuts, and store-bought everything took over? Back in the 60s and 70s, holiday tables were loaded with flavors so bold and so memorable that they defined the entire season. Today, we're rolling back the clock for 10 Christmas sandwiches from the 1960s and 70s that defined Christmas. If you love rediscovering America's forgotten holiday bites, hit like, share, subscribe, and drop a comment about the sandwich your grandparents swore by. Now let's taste the past. Number 1. Pimento cheese finger sandwiches. Did your grandparents ever talk about a Christmas party where one tiny sandwich could tell you everything about the times? Classy, thrifty, and full of Southern swagger? Pimento cheese finger sandwiches were that holiday icon. Imagine sharp cheddar shredded by hand, no pre-bagged shortcuts, mixed with bright red pimentos, mayo, and just enough cayenne to make folks say, "Now that's got some kick." This creamy, tangy spread got smoothed onto crustless white bread, cut into perfect little triangles, and arranged on doily-lined trays like edible ornaments. And here's the hook. Saying no thanks to one of these wasn't just rude. It was practically refusing Christmas cheer itself. These sandwiches crossed every social line. Served at church socials, open houses, country club luncheons, and backyard gatherings. Packed with color, comfort, and old-school charm, they weren't just food. They were a Christmas handshake, a welcome, a memory in every bite. Makes you wonder why something so simple, so festive, and so dang good ever faded from our holiday tables. Number 2. Cucumber tea sandwiches. Ever hear your grandparents talk about those mid-century Christmas gatherings where everything felt just a little bit fancy, even if folks were celebrating in a wood-paneled living room? Cucumber tea sandwiches brought that touch of polished elegance straight from British tea rooms into American holiday parties of the 60s and 70s. Picture English cucumbers sliced paper thin, thanks to those brand new mandolin slicers every bride bragged about, then pressed dry so the bread wouldn't go soggy. Soft white bread got buttered all the way to the edges, mixed with fresh dill and a little lemon to give it that, "Yes, ma'am, this is classy" flavor. Then came the careful layering, the crust trimming in one perfect motion, and the dainty cuts into triangles or slim fingers. These cool, crisp bites were the height of suburban sophistication, the kind of sandwich you ate with your pinky just a little raised. They weren't flashy, but they whispered elegance in rooms decorated with aluminum trees and twinkling lights. It's wild how something so simple, just butter, bread, and cucumbers, became a Christmas status symbol, a taste of refinement that made every hostess feel like she had a bit of Jackie Kennedy magic in her kitchen. Number 3. Chicken salad mini sandwiches. Did anyone in your family ever argue, and I mean really argue, over the right way to make chicken salad at Christmas? Because in the 60s and 70s, this sandwich wasn't just party food. It was personal identity on a plate. Every holiday potluck had at least 3 versions, each claiming to be the one true classic. Picture leftover roasted chicken or freshly poached breasts, hand-shredded while still warm. No shortcuts, no store-bought tubs. Then came the Great Divide. Some families added halved green grapes and chopped pecans, the fancy church lady version, while others stayed loyal to celery, hard-boiled eggs, and a spoonful of sweet relish that could start a whole debate by itself. Mixed with mayo, Hellman's, Best Foods, or Duke's depending on your zip code, the filling chilled overnight so the flavors could marry just right. Spread thick on soft white bread, trimmed clean, and quartered into neat little squares. These mini sandwiches showed up at every Christmas morning brunch, open house, and office holiday potluck. Creamy, crunchy, comforting. They tasted like resourcefulness wrapped in nostalgia, turning yesterday's leftovers into today's holiday must-have. It's wild how a humble little sandwich could spark so many memories, so many opinions, and so much Christmas charm. Number 4, frosted ribbon sandwich loaf. Ever seen a dish so outrageous, so over the top, so proudly mid-century that it made guests stop in their tracks and say, "Now hold on, what is that?" The frosted ribbon sandwich loaf was exactly that Christmas showpiece. This wasn't just a sandwich, it was edible architecture. Imagine taking a full Pullman loaf, slicing it horizontally into long layers, and stacking each one with a different filling: chicken salad on one, ham salad on another, olive cream cheese on the next. Then came the jaw-dropper, frosting the entire loaf in whipped, fluffy cream cheese, sometimes tinted pastel green or pink with food coloring. Hostesses decorated it with chopped parsley, paprika, nuts, or even olive and pimento designs that looked like holiday holly leaves. After chilling for hours, this 5-pound masterpiece got sliced vertically at the table, revealing perfectly striped layers that made people gasp like they were looking at a Christmas miracle. It was labor-intensive, dramatic, and absolutely unforgettable. The ultimate test of a 60s or 70s hostess's ambition. Today's sandwich cakes have nothing on these retro giants. They were part spectacle, part craftsmanship, and all Christmas magic. The kind of thing that made guests whisper, "She really went all out this year." Number 5, ham salad sandwiches. Ever wonder how a simple leftover could become the star of a whole Christmas gathering? Ham salad sandwiches were mid-century America's answer to waste not, want not, transformed into pure holiday charm. Picture the day after Christmas in the 60s or 70s, that big glazed ham from the night before being ground down through a hand-cranked meat grinder clamped right to the kitchen counter. No fancy processors, just muscle and tradition. The pink, finely ground ham, mixed with sweet pickle relish, mustard, and mayo, turned into a creamy, savory spread that tasted like comfort wrapped in nostalgia. Some cooks even added a pinch of brown sugar for that sweet, salty holiday balance. Spread onto white or rye bread, trimmed clean and stacked neatly, these sandwiches fit right into both humble working-class gatherings and polished middle-class open houses. They were thrifty yet festive, practical yet proud. The kind of sandwich that said, "We make the most of what we've got." Smooth, tangy, slightly sweet, and incredibly satisfying, ham salad sandwiches were Christmas resourcefulness at its finest, giving the holiday leftovers a second life that tasted just as joyful as the celebration itself. Number 6, egg salad sandwiches. Did your grandparents ever talk about the kind of Christmas mornings where the house felt slow, warm, and filled with the smell of something simple but comforting? Egg salad sandwiches were that quiet hero. Not flashy, not fancy, but absolutely essential to mid-century holiday gatherings. Picture Christmas Eve in the 1970s. 24 eggs boiling on the stove while holiday specials played in the background, then cooling in ice water before being peeled one by one at the kitchen table. Come morning, those eggs were chopped with a pastry blender, not mashed, not pulverized, but turned into that perfect, fluffy, chunky texture only Grandma could get right. Mayo, mustard, salt, pepper, maybe a pinch of paprika, maybe a little celery or onion if your family liked a bit of crunch. Then the big debate, sweet pickle relish, yes or no? Spread thick on soft white bread, trimmed clean, cut into triangles. These sandwiches tasted like pure nostalgia. Creamy, mild, comforting. They were the kind of bite you grabbed after midnight mass during Christmas brunch or when unexpected guests dropped by. Egg salad wasn't about showing off. It was about hospitality, tradition, and feeding people with love when the season was already stretching everyone's budgets. One bite, and suddenly you're 8 years old again, sitting by the tree in your pajamas. Number 7, turkey and cranberry mini sandwiches. Ever taste something so simple yet so nostalgic that it instantly feels like the entire holiday season in one bite? That was the magic of turkey and cranberry mini sandwiches during the 60s and 70s Christmas parties. These little beauties took the spirit of Thanksgiving and dressed it up for December, a flavor bridge between two holidays that families loved stretching as long as possible. Picture a freshly roasted turkey breast sliced thin, not leftovers this time, but made just for the sandwiches. Soft dinner rolls or crustless white bread squares got a swipe of butter, a layer of ruby red cranberry sauce. Homemade or straight from the can loyalists were divided, and sometimes even a smear of cream cheese for extra richness. Add one crisp lettuce leaf for color, press gently, and cut into bite-sized perfection. The sweet tart cranberry against warm savory turkey created a holiday harmony that felt familiar yet festive every single time. These were everywhere. Office parties, cookie exchanges, neighborhood open houses, little handheld bites of December magic. Each one tasted like family gatherings. Number 8, Pinwheel Sandwiches. Did you ever flip through an old family photo album and spot a retro party table lined with little spiral sandwiches that looked way too fancy to be that easy? Pinwheel sandwiches were the mid-century Christmas crowd pleaser that made every hostess feel like she'd mastered culinary magic. These rolled wonders started with the softest, freshest white bread, crusts trimmed clean, then flattened gently with a rolling pin until it became smooth, flexible, and ready to transform. A thin layer of filling came next, maybe olive cream cheese, maybe pimento cheese, maybe deviled ham, each one spread edge to edge with precision. Then came the iconic move, rolling it all up tightly like a jelly roll, wrapping it in wax paper and chilling it so the flavors could settle and the shape could hold. Once sliced into perfect little rounds, each piece revealed a hypnotic spiral that looked like edible Christmas ornaments scattered on a tray. Light, creamy, soft, and full of flavor, they were the kind of sandwiches you grabbed two at a time while trying not to look obvious. These pinwheels weren't just food. They were a statement of mid-century style. Number 9, olive and cream cheese tea sandwiches. Ever take a bite of something that instantly tells you this is grown-up Christmas? Olive and cream cheese tea sandwiches were exactly that. The bold, briny holiday classic that kids avoided, but adults devoured like they were tasting pure sophistication. Picture a 1960s kitchen with a tall jar of Spanish green olives, the kind stuffed with bright red pimentos, being chopped until they turned into tiny festive confetti. Room temperature cream cheese, always Philadelphia for the purists, got whipped until fluffy, then folded with those salty olive bits and a splash of brine that gave the whole filling its unforgettable punch. Some cooks added a whisper of grated onion or a dash of Worcestershire to deepen the flavor, creating a spread that tasted sharp, savory, and unmistakably retro. Smoothed onto soft white bread and trimmed into elegant little triangles, these sandwiches showed up at every Christmas tea, church social, and afternoon ladies' gathering, usually placed on the good china that only came out in December. One bite and you understood why older generations loved them. The savory saltiness cut through all the heavy holiday foods, refreshing your palate with each nibble. They were simple yet sophisticated, humble yet proud, and totally unforgettable. Number 10. Pastrami on Rye Holiday Bites. Ever wonder when Christmas sandwiches went from dainty and delicate to bold and full of attitude? By the early 1970s, pastrami on rye had crashed the holiday scene like a flavorful rebel, bringing New York deli swagger right on to suburban Christmas platters. This wasn't your typical light tea sandwich. This was a festive power move. Picture thick, peppery slices of proper deli pastrami, never the packaged stuff, layered onto dark rye bread studded with caraway seeds. A generous swipe of grainy brown mustard added that sharp holiday kick, and maybe, a thin slice of Swiss cheese if someone in the house felt fancy. No lettuce, no tomato, no tinkering, just pure savory confidence. Cut into sturdy diagonal halves or quartered for easy party grabbing, these sandwiches were the hearty answer to all the delicate spreads and cream cheese fillings of Christmas past. They showed up at casual gatherings, dad-led holiday parties, and homes where families wanted a little cosmopolitan flavor without leaving the living room. Each bite felt big, loud, and unapologetically delicious. The kind of sandwich that said, yeah, Christmas can be bold too. It was holiday comfort, New York flair, and mid-century nostalgia all wrapped into one unforgettable bite. And that's our trip through 10 Christmas sandwiches from the 1960s and 70s that defined Christmas. A whole platter of flavors, memories, and stories from the America we're letting slip away. Which one sparked a memory for you or reminded you of a grandparent's holiday table? Drop a comment and let me know. And hey, if you love rediscovering forgotten American food history, hit like, share, and subscribe so you never miss another taste of the past. Until next time, keep the memories warm and the flavors alive.